Hello. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are. I hope you're having a good one. If you're new to this channel, hi, how are you? If you're one of my regulars, hey guys. So on this channel, we cover all things reality, TV news, and gossip, as well as trending topics. And today we're going to be talking about Mama June. I do have an exclusive for you guys. Mama June filed her response to Michael Cardwell's custody suit that he filed against her. So, real quick, and let me just say this, her filing shows me someone that's been a long time viewer of the show and who now has a lot of sources that know them personally. It literally tells me that June was really not active in Anna's life. The fact that June doesn't even know how old Caitlin was when Michael and Anna got together, got married, that tells me a lot. So, we're going to kind of start from the top a little bit. As we all know, Mama June's daughter, Anna Chickadee Cardwell Tony. Anna was diagnosed with cancer 2023, early 2023. She battled cancer for 10 months, unfortunately passed away on her daughter Kylie's 8th birthday. Anna passed away on December 9th. Now, before Anna was diagnosed with cancer, she was still pretty estranged from June Shannon, her mother. She did talk to her siblings. She talked to Pumpkin here and there. She talked to Alana here and there. She talked to Jessica here and there. But she didn't really talk to June until she got her cancer diagnosis. That's when her and June started talking. And what's so crazy is she finds out she has cancer. She reaches out to her mom to make amends. And her mom immediately pulls her on the show. You should join the show. Anna, from what I was told by sources that know Anna, the reason she agreed to do the show is because Anna always wanted to have a relationship with her mom. She always kind of wanted to mend that relationship and feel like her mom did care about her. But she also wanted to bring awareness to cancer. Anna was very young. She was 29 years old when she had it, and it happened so quickly. So I think, and what I've been told is she agreed to do the show just to help spread awareness. Anna really had no big desire to be on the show. All the years that they had the show that she wasn't on it, she never really. There was a Instagram live that Anna did October 2021 where somebody said, "Are y'all ever going to join the show?" And Caitlin was like, "Well, we're thinking about it." And Anna goes, "No, we're never going to do the show again." That's because Anna enjoyed the quiet life. She agreed to do the show because she wanted to have that relationship with her mama. She wanted to make amends due to her diagnosis and to bring awareness to cancer, the cancer that she had. Now, my sources have told me that Anna made it known to everyone around her what she wanted to happen with her daughters. Anna has her oldest daughter, Caitlin, and then she has her youngest daughter, Kylie. Caitlin's dad has never been in the picture. Anna has, mentioned him a time or two. His name has come up recently, Caleb Clark. And then Kylie. Kylie belongs to Michael. So when Michael got with Anna, Kylie was 8 months old. Caitlin was 8 months old. 8 months old when the two got together. Michael and Anna got together. And he filled in that father role. He jumped right in. He worked. Michael has always had a job. He financially took care of Anna and Caitlin. They moved to Alabama, and Anna didn't work. He bought the diapers. He bought everything. He did everything for Anna and Caitlin. And after they split up, he still did for them. His mom actually did a lot for Anna whenever they moved back down here. As you guys know, whenever Michael and Anna got a divorce, I told you guys, my source told me it was very civil. They used the same lawyer. They split everything down the middle, 50-50. You get the kids for 2 weeks out of the month. I'll get the kids for 2 weeks out of the month. It wasn't 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. It was 1 week on, 1 week off, 1 week on, 1 week off, right? So, but when Anna left Alabama, my source told me that Michael gave her what money he had to try to start over. She called Sugar Bear and Jennifer to come get her from Alabama. They did. She lived with them for a few months. She ended up finding a place with one of her friends right down the road from Michael's mom's house, who continued to help her. Michael's mom continued to help her and Caitlin until Michael moved back down here. So Michael has been the only dad that she's known until Eldridge stepped into the picture. Eldridge stepped into the picture like 5 or 6 years ago or so. But they have had this week on, week off in place since the beginning, pretty much, right? Kylie belongs to Michael. Kylie is Michael's biological child. After Anna passed away, like I was told, Anna made it known. She told several people I have talked to people directly who said, I talked to Anna on this day. I talked to people who literally talked to Anna like the week that she passed. And they're like, she couldn't talk that well, but she was like, please make sure this happens. I've talked to people that talked to Anna as soon as she found out the diagnosis. That was like, well, this is what I want. And all of them say the exact same thing. And these are people that don't even know who the other person is. So it's just kind of crazy that I have all these people that they don't know who else I'm talking to, but they are all telling me that Anna told them the exact same thing. Michael and Eldridge. I want Michael and Eldridge to have my girls, keep them together, keep them on like the week on, the week off. Michael and Eldridge. No, not one person has said, Anna told me that she wanted June to have her girls. Nobody has told me that, okay? Now, after Anna passed away, because Anna had started staying with her mom, June, she moved in with June in the middle of November due to swelling of her feet. Anna had her feet would swell really bad and it was very painful. She had trouble walking. Eldridge worked. So Eldridge, had to go to work. So Anna was at home with the girls and sometimes by herself if it was Michael's week. So they just decided the best thing would be for them to, and they were invited. June was like, why don't y'all come stay over here? So they moved in with June the last few weeks of Anna's life. So Caitlin was there. Kylie was there. Kylie ended up leaving the day before Anna passed away, from my understanding. When Anna passed away, at some point, the conversation came up, when am I going to get Caitlin? Oh, she's going to stay here. So Michael filed for custody. June also filed an emergency filing for emergency custody. So we're going to go over all of them. If you are watching this on replay, I'm going to timestamp where we go over each filing, okay? I did buy these records, so I do have my name across them. I do have the watermark because I did purchase them. If you do want to use them, I don't care, but the watermark is there. If you do have the way to say you got it from me, I would appreciate that, but if not, the watermark's going to be in your way. All right, we're first going to go over June's initial filing where she says, to her knowledge, nobody else would be interested. Okay, and like I said, June's answer to Michael's filing tells me that June didn't really know a lot about her daughter. All right, so this is the initial filing that happened on December 18th. This is June filing for emergency custody. All right, this was, like I said, December 18th. This was literally 9 days after her daughter passed away. She actually filed it on the 15th, I do believe, and then it was signed on the 18th. Okay, so comes now June Shannon, petitioner herein by and through the undersigned counsel and pursuant to Georgia rule and all other applicable Georgia law, files her petition for change of child custody in an emergency ex parte relief, respectfully showing the court as follows. 1, the minor child subject to this action is Caitlin Shannon, a female born in 2012, now age 11. Petitioner is the maternal grandmother of subject child. The mother of child, Anna Marie Carwell, passed away on December 9th. The biological father of the child is unknown, and the child does not have a legal father. First off, that's lie number 1, because he is known. Anna mentioned his name a couple of times. That's how media outlets, if memory serves me correctly, Caleb did an interview years ago. I could be wrong. I want to say Caleb has done one interview years ago. Okay. Since the mother's passing, the child has remained in the care, custody, and control of petitioner, only because you would not hand her over to anyone else. Petitioner is a resident of Wilkinson County, Georgia, therefore jurisdiction and venue are proper in this court. Petitioner previously had temporary guardianship of the child. More recently, approximately 1 month before her passing, the mother and the child began residing with the petitioner. She doesn't tell you there that, yes, Anna moved in with them, but so did Anna's husband and Caitlin's stepdad, and Caitlin still went to see her dad, Michael. Petitioner shows that she is not aware of any interested party other than herself and that would have standing to seek custody of child. Petitioner shows that it is the child's best interest for petitioner to be awarded temporary and permanent sole legal and sole physical custody of the minor child. Petitioner shows that a material change in circumstances affecting the child has occurred, and that being the death of her mother. Petitioner is not aware of any person not a party to this case who has physical custody of the child or who claims to have custody or visitation rights with respect to the child. This is also a huge lie. June knew for sure that Michael has custody rights of Caitlin. Like, he got her week on, week off. So her saying she didn't know that, if she did not know that, that was because you were very absent in Anna's life or you were just blind to it. Petitioner is not aware of any other action involving custody of child pending in this or any other state. Petitioner has not participated as a party or a witness in any other actions involving the child not otherwise referenced herein. Petitioner seeks an immediate interlocutory order granting her temporary and permanent custody of the child. Wherefore, petitioner prays that she be awarded temporary and permanent sole physical and sole legal custody of the child, and that an immediate interlocutory order granting her custody of the minor child be issued pending further hearings. A rule needs to be issued, petitioner be awarded such other and future further relief as the court in its discretion deems just and appropriate. Now, June was granted temporary custody. If you watch June on her TikTok lives, she is quick to say, I have custody of Caitlin. I have custody of Caitlin. You have custody of Caitlin, but you only have temporary custody of Caitlin. And in my opinion, it's because you lied in your initial filing. You didn't even tell the truth. You knew that Michael would want custody of her. All right, now this is where Michael filed his for custody. Okay. As it says here, Michael Cardwell versus June Shannon. Petition for adjudication as equitable caregiver. Now, one thing that I remember the other day on a live is June saying, Michael said he had equity in Caitlin. Michael said he had equity in Caitlin. First off, Michael did not say that because Michael ain't said nothing. Where has anybody heard Michael talk? Anybody got a clip of it? Is it on Reddit? Where can I find it? I would love to see what Michael has to say about this. We have not heard anything that Michael has stated. The only thing that we have heard is through his attorney and these court documents, the court filings. And his attorney may use a word as equitable caregiver, not as an asset, but caregiver. He's not, and that is just a legal term. When you file for stuff like this, that's your lawyer. Your lawyer will use the terms that they use. That is a legal term. Like somebody grows equity, that is not something Michael said. That is petition for adjudication as equitable caregiver. That is a legal term. That is nothing that Michael said, hey, can we say I have equity in her? No. Guess what? If you ever need to file for custody, your lawyer may use these exact terms. Okay. So don't jump on him because his attorney used terms that are used all the time. They are used and they are recognized in court because judges know what they mean. Okay. Comes now Michael Cardwell, petitioner, a resident of Baldwin County, Georgia, and subjects himself to the jurisdiction of this court for the limited purposes associated with this petition. This petition concerns the minor child, to wit, Caitlin Shannon, born in 2012, whose mother, Anna, is deceased as of December 9th, 2023, and is currently in the physical custody of the maternal grandmother, June Shannon, a resident of Wilkinson County, Georgia, and therefore Shannon is subject to the jurisdiction of this court. June can be served. All right, let's skip that. Caleb Clark has been identified as the father, but has not done DNA testing and has no legal rights to the child. So Caleb Clark has been identified as the putative father and has not done DNA testing and has no legal rights to the child. Petitioner files this petition in accordance with Georgia rule, seeks custody and visitation thereunder by showing this court that petitioner has fully and completely undertaken a permanent, unequivocal, committed, and responsible parental role in the child's life. So Michael has engaged in consistent caretaking of Caitlin. Michael has established a bond and dependent relationship with Caitlin, which was fostered and supported by Anna. Both Michael and Anna understood, acknowledged, and accepted and behaved as though Michael is a parent of Caitlin. Michael accepted full and permanent responsibilities as a parent of the child without expectation of financial compensation. So saying like, I stepped in to be her daddy. Nobody paid me to do this. I didn't get anything in return other than that father-daughter relationship. Now it says here, petitioner began dating Anna in April 2013. So the date that they began dating, Michael and Anna began dating April 3rd, 2013. Caitlin's birthday is July 26th. They started dating April 3rd. So that makes her, guess what, 8 months. Y'all keep that in your mind, right? 8 months. Keep this in your mind too. Caleb has met the child once. He refused to take a DNA test and informed the mother he did not want to support her, the child, in any way. Now, I will say I have a source connected to Caleb Clark who told me that, whenever Anna went into labor with Caitlin, they were notified. Caleb and his mother was notified. They went to the hospital the following day. Caleb went into the room with Anna. Caleb saw Caitlin. Caleb and his mom mentioned a DNA test, and June said, well, we'll get one through child support. We'll file for child support, and child support can make him do a DNA test. The cameras were on their way to film everything, so Caleb and his mom left. It was said that, Anna had told them previously, I cheated on Caleb. The baby may belong to one other person, not 5 or 6. It was only one other person. Anna never really reached out to Caleb that much after that. So it was later believed by Caleb that maybe Caitlin wasn't his. No DNA test was ever ordered. They offered when Caitlin was born, but Anna never asked. And years later, Anna would say, Caleb is your dad, but he has his own life. He has other children. I'm not disrupting his life. We're fine. We're good over here. He's good over there. It's not a big deal. Petitioner and Anna married in May 2014 and separated April 2017. So they married May 2014. That would be 2 months shy of Caitlin turning 2 years old. They officially divorced in May 2020. During their marriage, Anna gave birth to another child born in 2013, which is the biological child of Michael, the petitioner. After their separation, the petitioner and Anna came to a temporary custody agreement in which Michael would have his child with Anna every other weekend. They also agreed for the minor child at issue to visit on the same schedule. So this literally says, when Michael and Anna got a divorce, they entered into a temporary agreement. And Michael may have these forms. Possibly he may have like their divorce forms where they stated this, but they went into an agreement where he would have his and Anna's child, his biological child, as well as Caitlin every other weekend or every other week. The petitioner and Anna reached a final agreement in 2020 where their child together would spend 1 week with Anna and 1 week with the petitioner. The minor child at issue also visited on the schedule as agreed by the petitioner and Anna. So literally, Caitlin and Kylie both went week on, week off. Anna has been raised by her maternal grandmother in Griffin, Georgia since she was approximately 8 years old and only returned to the home of June Shannon when she was 17. Anna had a very sordid relationship with her mother throughout her life and went various periods of times without speaking to her. Likewise, June's presence in the minor child's life has been inconsistent. Petitioner has been a stable and consistent part of the minor child's life since she was 8 months old and has continued to do so even years after his divorce from Anna. The petitioner is currently paying for the child's tuition at Happy Hollow Christian Academy in Irvington, Georgia. Petitioner is the only living person who has shown a constant and continued interest in the minor child's well being. And I know we mentioned the school that she goes to, but she no longer goes to that school. And June has brought this school up several times. They have talked about the school on and on the TikToks and talked about how they took her out of the school because Caitlin didn't like it. Meanwhile, this is a school that Anna and Michael agreed to have the children in. So tell me if we really believe that June is keeping Anna's wishes by the second Anna passes away, she yanks the child out of the school that Anna had her in. I don't think so. I don't think so. This is the school that Anna had her in, and there was a tuition that they paid. It was more expensive than private school. And maybe some parents will put their kids in a private school because they need a little bit more attention. Maybe a child struggles with reading or struggles with this or that. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's the reason the girls were put there, to have that one-on-one education versus being in a classroom with 28 other students or 25 other students. But I think that tells us right there the fact that as soon as Anna passed away, they were put in another school, or she was. She was put in another school immediately. Okay, so that was Anna's filing. We've already seen June's filing. Now we're going to see June's response. Now, this is where June is going to respond to what Michael's filing said. And this tells me there how much June does not know about Anna. June, if you watch this, you're so wrong. And your lawyer could have done some easy Google searches and would have been able to do a better job at filing this. And because your attorney did not do the proper research and just took your word, now the whole world's going to know that you don't really know what you're talking about. Comes now June Shannon, hereinafter referred to as defendant, and answers and responds to the petition for adjudication as equitable caregiver and respectfully shows the court the following. First defense, the plaintiff's petition fails to state a claim upon which relief can be granted. No, he doesn't. He's literally saying, my claim is I feel like I should have custody of this child. What do you mean they fail to state a claim? Second defense, it is contrary to the best interest of the child for plaintiff to be granted custody of the child. Says who? June Shannon, who has never raised any of her children from birth to 18 years of age. Every one of them have been raised at some point in time by someone else. Defendant responds to the plaintiff's petition paragraph by paragraph as follows. The defendant responds to the allegations enumerated in the first unnumbered paragraph of the petition of adjudication as equitable caregiver hereinafter petition as follows. Okay. June can neither admit nor deny that Caleb Clark is the putative father of the child. Well, this is what Anna said. So, I mean, okay. The allegations in the paragraph beginning with petitioner files this petition in accordance with Georgia rule are strongly denied as pled. All other allegations are not specifically addressed or denied. Now, okay, I can go and see what that one is if you guys want me to do that. If we can go like line by line, his and hers. Let me see. Okay, so his that they're denying. It says petitioner files this petition in accordance with Georgia rule, seeks custody and visitation thereunder by showing the court the petitioner has fully and completely undertaken a permanent, unequivocal, committed, and responsible parental role in the child's life. They're saying June is strongly denying that. June is saying that's not true. And let's see, then there's B, engaged inconsistent caretaking. June's denying that. Any allegations that are not specifically addressed are denied. So she is denying established a bond dependent relationship with the child, which was fostered and supported by Anna. Anna and Michael understood, acknowledged, and accepted and behaved as though Michael was the other parent of Caitlin. Michael accepted full and permanent responsibility as a parent of the child without expectation of financial compensation. So in this one right here, June's saying she denies that part one. She's saying she denies that. All right, number two. Defendant is unable to admit or deny the allegations enumerated in paragraph 1 of the petition. Defendant further states that she believes the child was approximately 2 years old when petitioner and Anna began dating. Let me stop there. So June is literally saying something that could be fixed by a quick Google search. She is saying, to her knowledge, Michael and Anna began dating when Caitlin was 2. They got married when she was 2. They actually got married when Caitlin, before she turned 2. Caitlin was born the end of July, like July 26th, I believe. Let's see. Yes, July 26th, 2012 was when Caitlin was born. Let's see. When did they get married? May 25th, 2014. So she wasn't even 2 when they got married, right? Michael and Anna started dating April 3rd, 2013. That is 8 months. 8 months. So Michael has the evidence and the proof. I'm sure of it. You know where else you can find the proof? Probably in the old Honey Boo Boo episodes, where literally, oh, you know where else you can find the proof? If you really start scrolling on Anna's IG, older Facebook, it literally lists her as married on this date. All of these things. So June, in your second filing where you answer these, you are wrong again. She didn't get married. She got married to Michael before Caitlin turned 2. So you know they were dating before that. Okay. Yeah, June's gonna, and her attorney's not even looking into this. Like June has been on TV for years. You could literally do a Google search. When did Anna Carwell start dating Michael Carwell? And you might can find an answer. Yes, Michael was on many Honey Boo Boo episodes. It's really wild that she don't know the answers to these. When I read that, I'm like, wait, hold up, that's not accurate. That's not accurate. The allegation enumerated in paragraph 2 of the petition are denied as pled. To defendant's knowledge, Mr. Clark never met the child. Okay, June, guess what? Wrong. You're wrong again. Caleb Clark met Caitlin the day after she was born. And you were there, June Shannon. You were there. It was at the hospital. Because they were notified that she had given birth. So Caleb and his mother went to the hospital. Caleb hung out with Anna in the room. Yes, he has met the child. Maybe not a lot. Maybe only one time, but he has. And the fact that you don't remember that, the fact that you know what? Like, I remember like everything about my children's birth. And I bet my mom does as well. I bet you my mom could tell you who was there, how long they were there, and when they left. Especially if my baby daddy was there. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, June, do better. All right. Plaintiff is unable to admit or deny the allegations enumerated in paragraph 3 as she does not have the knowledge to admit or deny. So let's see what paragraph 3 is for him. Paragraph 3 is petitioner and Anna married May 2014 and separated April 2017 and officially divorced May 2020. So June is saying she doesn't know if the date that Michael claims he married Anna is incorrect, if the date they separated is correct, or the date that they divorced is correct. Let me tell you something. I've never been married or divorced, but I have been married, sorry. I've never been divorced, but I can tell you who knows the date that I got married. My mom. Like my mom knows my anniversary date. You know what I'm saying? Like if you were like pretty active in your daughter's life, you may have like a roundabout idea. You might could at least be like, well, I think it was at least this year, like such and such year. You should be able to put these things in some sort of order, but you can't, June. The allegations enumerated in paragraph 4 are admitted as pled. 4 is during their marriage, Anna gave birth to another child born in 2013, which is the biological child of the petitioner. So June does say, yep, that's correct. She should at least know the year. That's what I'm saying. Yep. All right, number 6. The allegations enumerated in paragraph 5 and 6 of the petition are denied as pled. By way of further response, typically the child of the marriage did not wish to visit the father if Caitlin did not come with her. While Caitlin did sometimes accompany her sibling, the visits were infrequent. When Petitioner resided in Alabama, he only visited with Caitlin at most once per month, sometimes going 3 months between visits. Okay, first off, she makes it out like at most once per month is like not much at all. But listen, I got two kids. Their dad would see them once every 6 months. So once a month is not terrible, especially when you live out of state. But let's read what 5 and 6 is. So 5 is after their separation, Michael and Anna came to a temporary custody agreement in which Michael would have his child every other weekend. They also agreed for Caitlin to visit on the same schedule. The petitioner and Anna reached a final agreement in 2020 where the child that they had together would spend 1 week with Anna and 1 week with the petitioner. The minor child at issue also visited on this same schedule as agreed by the petitioner and Anna. So after they separated, Michael got the kids every other weekend. 2020, they revised their agreement to where he got them a week on, a week off, both of them. June is saying, well, the only reason is because Kylie really didn't want to go. So Caitlin went with her so Kylie would want to go. Then she states that he only saw her once per month when he resided in Alabama. Remember, when they split up, she came back to Georgia. He stayed in Alabama for a little bit. And let me tell you, this is directly from my source. Okay, so when Michael and Anna first split up, when they first split up and Anna came back to Georgia, Michael went 4 weeks without seeing the girls. And the reason why was due to money. You know, obviously, you get a divorce, money is an issue. You're trying to separate everything. My source told me that Michael gave Anna pretty much every penny he had so she could go back to Georgia and kind of start over. So Michael had to work to build up enough money to start coming down to visit. But then my source also said after about a month, where Michael was able to work and put a little money away to start visiting, he would come down every other weekend. He would get off on Friday. He would work nights, from my understanding. Friday morning, when he would get off, would drive from Alabama to Georgia, dirty, filthy, wouldn't even go home to bathe, would drive straight to Georgia and visit with the kids all weekend. Okay, and then drive back. But then guess why Michael moved back to Georgia? So he could be close to the girls. That's why Michael moved back to Georgia, so he could be close to the girls. Michael, from what my source told me, like most of his family lives in Alabama. Like his dad, I think, lives in Alabama. I think his dad has like a pretty big business in Alabama, so Michael had a job there. So he left his family and his dad and to go to Georgia just to be close to his kids. Okay. So to dog someone out because maybe they only saw someone once a month in the middle of a divorce. June, how long did you go when you and Gino were hotel hopping? And guess what? Yeah, I remember Alana starting her first day at high school. Her first day at high school. June was nowhere to be found. She had been like MIA for like months. So it's kind of crazy to see her like note these things about Michael to make it seem like he's like a bad parent when she was like 10 times worse than that. Oh, he went 4 weeks without seeing the girls after he just gave all his money to them so they could go start a new life after a divorce. But you were off blowing your kids' money, their trust fund money, and went months without seeing them. I mean, come on, who really deserves the kids? Number 7, the allegations enumerated in paragraph 7 of the petition are denied as pled. Let's see what 7 is. By way of further response, a defendant shows that Anna did reside with maternal grandmother from ages 11 through 16 or 17. So, number 7 is Anna was raised by her maternal grandmother in Griffin, Georgia, since she was approximately 8 years old and only returned to the home of June Shannon when she was 17. So, June is denying that Anna moved in with her mother when she was 8 and instead says, no, 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 she didn't move in with her when she was 8, it was 11. And she came back home when she was 16 or 17. Here's the thing, if you watch Dr. Phil, Anna will tell you she left when she was 8. She literally says, at 8 years old, this happened. I told a teacher, uh, the school called my grandma. My grandma came and got me, X, Y, and Z. She moved in. And guess what, June? You actually signed paperwork. Remember this, June? You signed paperwork giving your mom custody of Anna so she could handle her school stuff, her doctor stuff. I'm sure that's within a court system somewhere, and the date's going to be on there, and they're going to be able to figure out if Anna was 8 or 11. But Anna said on Dr. Phil she was 8. Anna said it herself. So the allegations enumerated in paragraph 8 of the petition are strongly denied as planned. Outside of one short period of disagreement, let me tell y'all what 8 is real quick. Michael's filing, paragraph 8, says Anna had a very sordid relationship with her mother throughout her life and went various periods of times without speaking to her. Likewise, June's presence in the minor's child's life has been inconsistent. June is saying that's not true. June is saying outside of one short period of disagreement, we had a stable relationship. What? June. Dr. Phil estranged. You guys were estranged right then. When she was 8 and that happened, years of estrangement. 2021, Anna is on Instagram saying, I don't speak to my mother. So no, it was not this one short little period. Let me tell you, I already got the recordings. I got the recordings of that. And I'm sure Michael does as well. I'm sure his attorney does. And do you know how, I don't know, that's why I can't be a judge, because if I was a judge and somebody came in with a filing like that, if one person showed me the evidence that there was estranged relationships all throughout the life of this child, and the mother is saying, no, it's just one time, I'd be like, you're going to jail for being a liar. I can't stand liars. You're going to jail. I'm going to teach you not to lie again. Oh, I'm sure Michael has loads of evidence. I mean, literally, I've posted stuff that he could use. If you go to Anna's Instagram and watch her older videos, there's one video from October 21st, 2021. She has asked him multiple times, do you have a relationship with your mom? And she says, no, I do not. I don't speak to my mama. Dr. Phil, she said, me and my mama don't have a relationship. My mama's a liar. My mama stole from me. She even talks about moving out at 8 years old and not having a relationship with her mom and moving back in right before the show started. So the evidence is out there. Yep. Jessica lived with Dodo. I think maybe Jessica lived with Dodo for a while. Pumpkin may have lived with Dodo for a little bit as well. But yeah, she didn't raise any of her kids all the way. Caitlin had spent her childhood regularly seeing and spending time with defendant. Also, on that October 21st video on Instagram, Caitlin is in the video. And she's also answering saying, no, we don't see Mama June. She has the cutest voice. But she's like, no, we don't have a relationship with Mama June. We see Pumpkin sometimes. It was literally so cute. There's literally evidence of Caitlin just 2 years ago saying, no, we don't have a relationship with her. On the other hand, the plaintiff has been an inconsistent presence in the child's life since at least 2017. You want to know something? I've looked Michael up on social media, stalker alert, and his fiance, hi, stalker alert. And you want to know what their Facebook is full of? Pictures of them with the kids that go back years. Michael has an older Instagram account that goes back years of him with Caitlin, of him talking about his baby girl before Kylie was even born. So who is he talking about? Caitlin. June, where's your photos of you at their birthday parties? Guess you want to know what else I did? Because I'm a stalker. Yes, I went back in June's social media post on birthdays to see if she gave the kids shout outs on their birthdays, to see if she said, hey, we're celebrating Caitlin or Kylie's birthday. No, 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 no. No, she didn't. You want to know who does have photos celebrating the girl's birthday? Michael. Who does it? June. So I don't know. The proof is in the pudding here. The allegations enumerated in paragraph 9 of the petition are strongly denied as well. Defendant shows that since 2017, plaintiff has had sporadic contact with the child. Number 9 just states the petitioner has been a stable and consistent part of the minor child's life since she was 8 months old and has continued to do so even years after his divorce from Anna. June, how do you know? Y'all want to know something that's funny? New Year's Eve, June was on a live stream for 5 hours. You want to know what I heard her ask Eldridge? Eldridge, is this the first year that Michael's got them anything for Christmas? You want to know why June didn't know? Because she wasn't a part of their life. June, you're a liar. And it's a shame that you're lying in court filings and doing something that is against your daughter's wishes. And you can say all day long, you could try to make us believe that this is what she wanted, but it's not. I've talked to too many people that told me it's not what she wanted. And you know the truth. You know deep down you're going against your deceased daughter's wishes for whatever the purpose is behind it. I don't know. Some likes to believe that it's money. I'm entitled to believe that. I believe that. I believe that it's money driven. And to get the accolades that comes with a grandmother taking in her grandchild after the grandchild's mom passed away. I think you're doing it for that reason, money and to be praised because you messed up when it came to your children. So now you're trying to have that second chance at raising a child and doing great at it. But you know who I don't think should get second chances? Parents that mess up. Like a child, that's too big. We don't take chances when it comes to children. You know what I'm saying? If you messed up on 1, 2, 3, 4 children, you've had enough chances. Don't do it. No. No, 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 no. But June, here's the thing. You can get on your lives all day long and tell us a lie, but you know the truth and you gotta live with that at the end of the day. You know that you've yanked that girl out of school, knowing that was not what Anna wanted. You know that Anna would have never wanted Caitlin to be separated from Michael or Kylie, and you did that. So at the end of the day, I've talked to people who literally said if Anna wasn't cremated, she would literally be like turning in her grave right now. I've talked to people who said Anna is so unhappy about this. I talked to people who said, I hope Anna haunts her because this is not what Anna wanted. And June knows this. June knows for a fact. Whatever they got Anna to say on the show that we're going to see, when I see it, I'll comment on it. But at this point, I even had somebody comment say, probably more than likely, Anna's not going to say anything or she's going to make some general statement. Like, Mama, I would just make sure the girls get taken care of. She'll either say something like that or she won't say nothing. And June will say, oh, they edited it out. They edited it out. Something like that. But June, you should be ashamed of yourself because when you go back and you look at Michael's page, his old Instagram account, his newer Instagram account, his Facebook account, he has photos of him with those girls with Caitlin from when she was a baby up until now. You know what I'm saying? And then you have none. Even Caitlin's last birthday, June did not get her anything. June did not even get Caitlin anything for her last birthday. It was on Reddit. It was there's a video on Reddit. Anna was live and somebody said, what did Mama June get Caitlin for her birthday? And she goes, oh, nothing. She didn't get her anything. And people's like, what? She didn't get her anything? She's like, and Anna's like, yeah, but it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. And I also heard they didn't do anything for Anna for her birthday. That Pumpkin got Alana like a Apple pen or something because Alana and Anna have the same birthday. And she didn't get Anna nothing. And it hurt Anna's feelings. Anna was bothered that like it was potentially her last birthday. And Anna, in my opinion, from the people that I talked to, I think Anna thought she would make it like a couple of years, but she knew she wasn't going to make it like super long. So she knew this past birthday was going to be one of the last few. And they did nothing. They didn't go out of their way to do anything special. As a matter of fact, Anna told somebody that she knows that Pumpkin told her, don't think you're going to get special treatment just because you got cancer. What? And that hurt Anna's feelings because you're dying. I'm dying. And you don't have to give me special treatment, but my goodness. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's continue. Uh, Petitioner is unable to admit or deny the allegations enumerated in paragraph 10. She does not have the knowledge to admit or deny. By way of further response, defendant believes that plaintiff pay. All right, before I jump to this one about paying for any daggone thing, June, you stole all your kids' money, so let's not talk about what you may or may not have paid for because you straight up stole from them, allegedly. All right, Michael's number 10 for Michael says the petitioner is currently paying for the child's tuition. That's what Michael's number 10 is. So she says, I can't admit or deny that because I don't have knowledge to know that. But defendant believes the plaintiff paid for the tuition for approximately 2.5 years in exchange for not paying any child support for his other child. The child is no longer enrolled in that school. Y'all, does that make much sense? This is June's math. I guess you put her calculator out for this one. Okay, should I write it down? Let me write this down. Just in case June watches it. Caitlin. Kylie. Y'all see these? Caitlin and Kylie. So, legally, she could have made him pay child support for this one. Money, 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 money. But instead, he decided to pay tuition for 2 kids to get out of paying child support for one. Because legally, Anna couldn't make him pay anything for Caitlin, legally, right? What in the absolute hell is your mind? How does it work, June? To think that makes a bit of sense that to get out of paying for this, he's going to pay tuition for both. For both. That doesn't make any sense. Y'all, can y'all... Oh, he only paid tuition for a child that he did not have to pay tuition for to get out of paying child support. So he paid tuition for the child that legally she couldn't have made him pay anything for, as well as his butt. He's going to pay way more money to pay for tuition for 2 kids versus paying child support for one. I don't really like to call people dumb, but I mean, that was a dumb comment to make, and I'm actually surprised your attorney even put that in writing. And let's not forget, June wanted to allow Pumpkin to adopt Alana versus paying child support. The big old fit that June Shannon threw over child support. She did not want to pay it. When she found out she had to pay it, she got so upset and thought and said, I thought you were I thought you were going to adopt her. Why am I paying child support when you adopt her? And she goes, Mom, I'm not adopting her. You wanted me to adopt her? So you don't have to pay child support? Yeah. Like, June, you have no right. You have no right. Private schools tend to be pretty pricey. Yes, so it's like $90 a week, a piece, from my understanding. I think it's $90 a week a piece. Oh, I so forgot to respond to that message. That's so wild that she thinks. I mean, if anyone read that and thought, oh, what a scummy guy. What a scummy guy. He paid tuition for a kid that ain't even his to get out of paying child support for a kid that is his. So he paid tuition for 2 children to get out of paying child support for 1 child. Yeah, that makes sense. Didn't June buy her boyfriend things with her kids' money? I mean, I can tell you this. I can tell you June Shannon was spoiling and splurging on Jordan McCollum whenever Pumpkin was over there, just had Bentley, and Dodo was bringing Pumpkin diapers and wipes and formula because Pumpkin and Josh financially were not doing well and just had a baby, or she had either just had Bentley or she had just had the twins. One or the other. She had just had a baby, and Dodo was bringing Pumpkin diapers, wipes, and formula, and June was off buying Jordan McCollum $10,000 necklaces and pendants. Okay. Exactly. Why would Michael have to pay child support when the child's not his? Exactly. He wouldn't. But Michael voluntarily paid Caitlin's tuition. All right, let's go to 12. All right, or 11. All right. All right, number 11. The allegations enumerated in paragraph 11 and 12 are strongly denied. Let's see what those are. 11 and 12. 11 is petitioner is the only living person who has shown a constant and continued interest in the minor child's well-being. 12 is being in the custody of the petitioner would be in the child's best interest. I mean, I can't believe June would try to say that she has been constant in Caitlin's life when she ain't even been constant in Alana's life. You ain't even been constant in your children's life, let alone your grandchildren, June. Okay, defendant shows that Anna's widower, Eldridge Tony, has been the only father figure to the child since a few months after plaintiff and Anna separated in 2017. It's not true. Not true. And let me tell y'all, listen, June Shannon, just know this. My sources know there's evidence to back up that Michael has been very active in their lives. Okay? There's evidence out there, and it's going to be presented, and you're going to look like a fool. During his marriage to Anna, plaintiff, y'all listen to this. During his marriage to Anna, plaintiff frequently physically abused Anna and the child, and it would not be in the child's best interest to be in plaintiff's care and control. So now June is accusing Michael of physically abusing Anna and Caitlin. And I was told by my source that Michael's been nice with all of this and he's not trying to like bring the dirt out, but he has it. If it needs to be brought out. That's what I was told, that this family, there's way more skeletons in their closet than the public know, and Michael is not playing dirty. He doesn't want to play dirty. He's just trying to do what's right for the kids, and he's just trying to keep the girls together with their sisters. But June Shannon, I don't know. I'm being told by my source she might want to back down. I'm just saying. So, I mean, here's the thing. If there's been any abuse, where's the evidence? Where's the proof? Where's the 911 calls? Where's the photos? Where is it at? Why did Anna trust to send her 2 children to Michael's house every other week if Michael abused her and the children, especially Caitlin? Especially Caitlin. Even more so Caitlin. If Michael had ever gotten physical with Caitlin, the second I divorced him, I'd be like, you know what? I'll let you see your child, but you're not seeing her. You've already gotten physical with her. So I'm definitely not letting you see her. But no, every week, every other week, she willingly sent those girls to their dad's house. And that's what she said. They're at their dad's house. They're going to their dad's house. There was never, ever, ever, ever anything that ever come out publicly. There was never a 911 call. There was never any photos. There was nothing that has ever come out to suggest that Michael has ever been out of the way with Anna or Caitlin. To be quite honest, it's the exact opposite. If he abused Anna and Caitlin, he would only have his child every other week. And more than likely, it would be supervised visits. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm just saying my sources are like, when they heard about Anna, when they heard that June is accusing Michael of abuse, they're like, listen, Michael's got some evidence of stuff that he's not trying to play dirty. He just wants the girls together. He just wants to do what's right. He wants to honor Anna's wishes by the girls staying together. Um, but if they want to do this, he might put out what he knows. So I'm just saying, June, you don't know what he knows. You don't know, I don't know, you don't know what Anna may have told him. You don't know what, we don't know. June let Josh cuss at Caitlin. Yep, exactly. It's wild. I think Michael was playing it smart. Let June dig her own grave. June fell for it. I agree. I agree. I agree. Oh my gosh, Miranda, it's freezing here. It's freezing. And if she claims he abused Caitlin, then why does June not have a problem with leaving him and Kylie? That's such a great point. I'm so glad you brought that up. Here, you want to know what my source told me? You want to know how many times June has text checking on Kylie? This is what my source told me. To their knowledge, June has text to check on Kylie 0 times. Even though Michael's abusive, right? Michael's abusive. You ain't fighting for Kylie. You only fighting for Caitlin. But if Michael was abusive and you cared so much about your grandchildren, wouldn't you try to remove Kylie from that situation as well? I would assume you would. She broke a glass and got cursed out. Exactly. Also, um, I forgot. There was something else I was going to say. Yes, 0 times. I was told that my source said last time they talked to the family that June had checked on Kylie 0 times. That Pumpkin and Jessica had like checked in on Kylie to see how Kylie was doing. From my understanding as well, I know Pumpkin said on a live stream that she had texted Michael asking if Kylie could come stay the night with her because Ella wanted Kylie to come stay the night. So, from my understanding, more than likely, okay, I'm just going to say this. When there's a custody case going on and you're fighting for custody of a child, your lawyer will tell you if you want to allow them to see the child, invite them over, invite them to do things together. Don't let said child go with them without you because we don't know if they're going to be asking said child, so what are they doing? What are they saying? Do you know what's going on? You don't know if they're going to be saying, hey, tell your dad X, Y, and Z. You need to do this. If you do this, we'll do this for you. So when there's a custody case happening, most of the time your lawyer will say, and that's the thing, from my understanding, and what Pumpkin said she texted asking if Kylie could go stay the night with Ella, and this is what was offered. I think my source said something like, well, why don't we all get together and we'll take the girls to do something? It was something like that. Well, why don't we all get together and we'll take the girls to do something? No, didn't want to do that. Then Pumpkin said that she texted about the money. Hey, I need to get with you. I need to get with Kylie to give Kylie her money. I was told that the response was, okay, you can come over, see Kylie, I'll get the money, put it in a savings account. Wasn't good enough. Wasn't good enough. The way that it seems is they have been offered, sure, we can go places together. I'll let y'all see Kylie. Let's go bowling. Let's go out to eat. They don't want her around Michael. They want her away from Michael. They didn't agree to go all together out to do something with Michael and his fiance and Kylie and Caitlin. They were like, no, we want to get her though. If we got to do it with you, we're not doing it. And if they really wanted to see Kylie, an 8-year-old who just lost her mother, whose whole life has been flipped upside down, they would do it. They would say, okay, yeah, we want to see her. So yeah, let's go out to eat. Yeah, let's go bowling. Let's take the kids to do something. You ain't got to sit there and chit chat and be buddy buddy. You could just be civil to see your niece. But the second it was like, well, we got to do it this way. Let's do it this way. No, never mind. And that tells me right there, they only want to get Kylie away from Michael to probably try to brainwash her, to probably try to get something out of her, to try to ask her questions. So Michael, more than likely, his attorney has told him, you need to do it this way. If they ask to see her, allow them to your house, ask them if they want to go out and do things, but don't let them get Kylie alone because we don't know if they're going to try to influence her in any way. I mean, look at how they've already influenced Caitlyn. They've already bought Caitlyn. They're already buying Caitlyn, so um I don't know, Kylie. I wish there was. Okay, let's continue on with this filing. I know it's taking forever for me to get through it. Okay. Any and all further allegations contained in the petition for adjudication as equitable caregiver, which are not addressed specifically herein, are denied. Wherefore, defendant prays that this court dismisses plaintiff's petition with prejudice and enters into a judgment in favor of defendant with all costs assessed against the plaintiff. So now she's saying, I'm hoping that you guys will dismiss this, give me custody of Caitlyn, and make Michael pay for my legal fees. She's literally asking that they make Michael pay for her legal fees. That this answer and defense will be allowed, that the demands of plaintiff's petition are denied and dismissed, that defendants be allowed to amend her answer to include a counterclaim in the future if necessary. I wouldn't do it, June, especially with the claims that you're making. That sole legal and physical custody of the child, Caitlyn Shannon, be granted to defendant. The defendant be granted such additional relief as the court may consider. Wait, did she just use the term equitable? Did June just use the term, bye, Kathy? Did June just use the term equitable in her filing as well? The defendant be granted such additional relief as the court may consider equitable and just. Respectfully submitted this 15th day of January 2024. So those are some pretty crazy claims there, right? That if you have watched this family long enough, you knew by June's response that she was wrong with some of those responses. If Michael and Anna didn't start dating until Caitlyn was 2, then how old were they when? How old was Caitlyn when they got married? All it takes is a little Google searching. June, you literally could have said, when did Anna marry Michael Carwell? And you would have found out that she married Michael a couple months before Caitlyn turned 2. So if they married before she turned 2, they clearly started dating before she was 2. And if somebody comes into a child's life that early and has been there this long, then obviously they're there for a reason. You know what I'm saying? They love her. Maybe it's something like that. They really look at her as their child. They want the best for her. Maybe something like that. Here over on Reddit is where Caitlyn's birthday had just passed. This is her last birthday. Also, go check out Mama June's social media pages. See if you, in the past few years, see if she wishes Caitlyn and Kylie a happy birthday. See if she posts any photos of her with them out and about for their birthday. You're probably not going to see it. Somebody asked, what did June get Caitlyn for her birthday? And Anna says nothing. There's music in the background, so I really don't know if I should play this. It's on Reddit. And somebody says, what? Wow, she didn't? Because Caitlyn says, Anna says, well, she didn't get her anything. And they're like, what? Wow, she didn't? And Anna's literally like, it's fine. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Don't make a big deal out of it. It's fine. This is Caitlyn's last birthday. But June is so active in Caitlyn's life. She's so consistent. She's so consistent that she had to ask Eldridge, so does Michael, is this the first year that Michael's got him gifts for Christmas? If she was active in their life, guess what? If June was active in her granddaughter's lives or her daughter's life, she would know that Michael and Anna split holidays. This was Michael's year for him to have them for Christmas. This was his year for Christmas. They have set holidays, and other ones they switch out. So the only set holidays is Mother's Day and Father's Day. Every Mother's Day, Anna would have them. Every Father's Day, Michael would have them. All the other holidays, they flip-flop. They took turns. This year was his year to have those kids for Christmas. Also, birthday. Anna's last birthday, Eldridge and Anna's grandmother, Sandy, took her out to eat. That's when Anna did for her birthday. She went out to her last birthday. She was taken out to eat by her husband, Eldridge, and her grandmother. You want to know who didn't really do much for Anna for her birthday? June and her siblings. So I'm just like irritated with this. I'm like, if you literally look at Anna's pages, if you look at her Instagram, if you look at Michael's, it's going to tell the tale of who's been there for those kids. Michael's got those girls all over his page at various ages. I mean, you got Caitlin as a baby, a year old, 2 years old, 2.5, three, 3.5, all these at different points in her life. June, where's your photo of you with Caitlin at when she's 5, when she's 6, when she's 7, when she's 8, when she's 9, when she's 10? It's not there. You were there in the beginning when she was first born and Anna lived with you, and then the past 10 months. Other than that, you haven't been around. And I think it's a shame that you're doing what you're doing. And we all know why you're doing it, in my opinion. I think it's for the money. Let me see if there's anything else. Okay, and the other day, June and Justin were live on Instagram, and they were going off about, they were saying, oh, look at where he has her at. Look at where he has her at. He must have taken her over there. He must have taken her over there. That's why we can't trust him. She's not going back over there. She's not going to go back over there. And then Justin says, well, we have to get her phone or something. Something said about a phone. Literally, there's thousands of people watching. I had several people send me these clips of June going off. And from the way that it sounds, I think Eldridge had Caitlin, and they thought that Eldridge had brought Caitlin to Michael, maybe. And so they're like mad at Eldridge. People was asking, like, are you talking about Eldridge? Are you talking about Eldridge? And from my understanding, they were. I think Justin even said on the live that Caitlin was gone with Eldridge. So they're mad because they think that Eldridge has Caitlin like close to Michael's house or something. And so they say, you know what? Well, she's not going to go back. She's not going to go back. She won't be going back. And Justin says, well, no, she has to. Like, we got to get that phone. And, or one of the, they're like, we got to get that phone. We got to get that phone. And Michael said, Justin says, well, we need to do that tomorrow. We need to get that phone tomorrow and deal with that. And then after that, she'll need to go back over there. So that tells you also right there, if a judge awards June custody of Caitlin, the first time Michael or Eldridge ticks her off, she's not going to let them see. She's going to say, you're not seeing the girl. You're not seeing Caitlin. That tells you right there. When I got sent these clips of them literally, they didn't call Eldridge to say, hey, where are you? It looks like you have Caitlin somewhere she's not supposed to be. Can you let me know what's happening? You know what I'm saying? Nothing like that. They didn't say nothing like that. They didn't call. They didn't text. They're on a live stream just assuming where she is and going off saying that's why he don't need to have her. Oh, after we get this phone. What phone? Whose phone you getting? You trying to get Anna's phone or something? For what? I'm side-eyeing you. Whose phone you trying to get? Eldridge, they were just talking about you. They were literally saying that they weren't going to let Caitlin go back with you, but they want to get a phone from you first. Don't give them no phone, Eldridge. Don't give them the phone. So, wonder if there's something questionable on that phone. You know what I was thinking? The only thing that I could think is they must be talking about, I would have to assume they're talking about like Anna's phone. Maybe they want to get Anna's phone because Caitlin doesn't have a phone. Caitlin has an iPad. And the only thing that I could think is if there's any evidence on that phone of what Anna wanted with those girls, they want to make sure to get it and take it out. That's what I think. That's what I think. So, yeah, the fact that they were even saying anything publicly without finding out what was actually happening shows you how irresponsible they are, how immature they are, how they are just going to make decisions off the cuff, about who Caitlyn should be able to see and who she should be able to visit, make them mad, they're not going to let Caitlyn visit anybody. So I feel like a judge should not award custody to June Shannon. Also, I did hear ever since that happened, ever since the public, the things have not been great in the Shannon household ever since June was talking like that on social media. That things have been not great over there. So yeah, that's what it is, you guys. And if I'm doing my research, I just can't see that a judge would give June Shannon custody of Caitlyn. I do think, and I know somebody came into the chat just a second ago saying that Michael is not her dad or something like that. He shouldn't have any rights. Michael and Eldridge are the only two dads that she's ever known. Michael has been in her life since she was 8 months old. She calls him daddy. He pays her schooling. He pays for her glasses. He pays for all kind of stuff. She is with Michael every other week up until Anna passed away. Every other week, not weekend, every other week. That is her dad. Eldridge is her dad. Like, these two men are the men that have been raising this child. So I don't know if you have ever been in a situation where you had a step parent that was there from day one, but I could tell you, my older two kids, my husband Sean is like their dad. If you ask my son Caden, who is 16, hey, who's your dad? He's going to say Sean. And if they're like, well, you don't look like him, he's going to be like, oh, well, yeah, well, my real biological dad is this guy, but Sean's my dad. If something was to happen to me and somebody tried to take Caden, my older is 18, she's out of the house, she don't live here anymore. But if somebody tried to take Caden away from Sean and say, oh, well, that's not his child biologically, he has no rights, I would be so mad. And my son, my 16-year-old son, would probably be like, excuse me? No, that is my dad. And I can guarantee you, Caitlyn is telling them, no, Michael's my dad. Yeah, Michael and Eldridge. Like, Michael's my dad. Eldridge is my stepdad. So Tabby's T actually knows everything. She knows Anna personally. And she says Michael and Eldridge are who pay for Caitlyn's needs and wants. Tabby's T, do you want me to tell them kind of who you are, Tabby? I'm a stepfather for 15 years. My stepkids would never go to their biological, and I would not want them to. If something happened to me and somebody tried to put Caden with his biological dad, I would come back and haunt people. Okay, so Tabby's T was one of Anna's best friends. Tabby's T is one of Anna's best friends. Tabby's T and Anna talked every day. They FaceTime. They talked. And Tabby's T is here to tell you that Anna did not want June Shannon to have Caitlyn. I don't think she did think that. I don't think Anna thought for a second that they would do this to her. So anyways, you guys, we're going on over an hour. I'm going to have to timestamp this for people on replay. Yep, I had a bio dad and a real dad, stepdad, and never saw bio dad. As bad as he was, he never tried to take me. Yep. That baby needs to be with her daddy. June and family don't need this little girl. Exactly. I think they'll have a very easy time proving that June is unfit, considering she didn't raise any of her other children. I think it's going to be easy. That's a part of the reason why I've been doing these live streams with any evidence that I can find to at least put it up on the internet so it's there. My sister and I were separated when my dad died, and it was the worst mistake ever. Exactly. I've had people comment on my channel saying that, like, they lived with their sibling up until a parent died, then they were separated, and like they lost that bond. If I'm not the biological father and Mama June has criminal record, giving up parental rights unfit, can they give custody to Michael? Are we actually looking at foster care? No, 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 no. There's not going to be any foster care. I can tell you that for sure. Um, Definitely not any foster care because um so okay, Michael and not Michael, June and Justin are both convicted felons, I do believe. Justin has been to prison twice. Um, June has been arrested for drugs. I don't think they're going to get custody. I do think Michael and Eldridge will have enough proof to do what needs to be done. Um, so I don't think for a second that June's going to end up with custody. Eldridge was married to Anna, so I don't know if he has like more, like legally, if he is in a better position. I'm not sure, you know. Always late says my sister-in-law cheated on my brother and got pregnant. She then left the baby with my brother. When she was approximately 4, the bio dad wanted her. They went to court. My brother won. That's awesome to hear that. I mean, considering, could you imagine ripping a 4-year-old out of the only dad's arms she's ever known? Like, the bio dad maybe should have like visitation or be able to come see the child, but definitely not rip that child. Like, I'm glad your brother was able to win that. Yes, Sherry, I do think the courts could potentially appoint a guardian ad litem. I do think they should have been a pumpkin and ask her why she got custody of Alana. That's public too. That's public where they talk about. Oh, it's on the podcast. On the podcast, they literally say why they took Alana because they were literally finding needles in the laundry room in their shoes. You know. But anyways, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this one out. We're gonna do a catch up on Janelle with their CPS case. I'm gonna continue to keep my eye on this. I'm trying to make sure there's nothing else that I need to say. I will just say my sources told me, as far as any abuse charges, that is completely false. There was never any. Oh, um, I wonder if Pumpkin would allow, if Pumpkin and Josh, God forbid, something was to happen to them, if she would want June to raise her kids. I would love to hear Pumpkin's answer on that. Um, on the podcast, weren't they talking about the trauma June caused them? Yes, they were. The bio dad was never in her life. My brother was raising her. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, in that case, like, I couldn't imagine ripping a child out of the only father's arms she's ever known. And I know some people's like, Mama June's changed, give her a chance. And I'm like, we're not giving her a chance with another child though. She's flunked at 4 of those. 4 chances she's screwed up. Why throw another child at her to cause trauma for that child? Look at the trauma she's inflicted upon all of her children. Why not put this child in a stable house where it's stability, there's normalcy. It's not yelling and screaming and fighting. It's not yelling and cursing all the time. It's not chaoticness. It's not craziness. Give her some stability rather than allowing her to stay up all night. And God, who only knows what the child eats? She probably eats ice cream 24/7 if she wants to. I imagine they would allow it. Anyways, you guys, like, share, subscribe. I know I've been on for a long time today, but there's just so much to get through with this filing. I'm going to continue to keep up with it. And whenever they have their court date, I might go. I'm considering, and I'm like, I might go to that one. I probably have to hire a bodyguard though, because June will probably try to chase me down or something. um, exactly. You get another chance at passing a driver's test, not to being a mother. Exactly. At 18, Caitlin can give June all the chances in the world if she wants. Exactly. Do we have a date? Not yet. Um, I know, Adriana, it's horrible. Anyways, like, share, subscribe. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel to continue to keep up with this case. And follow me over on my other channel, Fatal Files with Elle, where we've been covering the Gypsy Rose Blanchard situation. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.